It's been a while since I had something from Aiyima, and I think the last one might have been that little integrated, the A80. That was the one with the little screen, the view meters. It was kind of a cool little integrated amp. But today we're looking at two of Aiyimma's most talked about products, the A20 balance amplifier and the T20 fully balanced tube preamp. The yes is a true tube pre. There isn't any gimmicks or games on this design. And this is going to be a straight to the point, this is what you're getting, this is what I think of it kind of video. Hope you guys enjoy. Something I wanted to touch on first, you've likely noticed that a lot of these units have been popping up on the YouTube audio community. I just wanted to mention this because I think a lot of people are curious why you see a lot of creators release their videos on the same day. It's really nothing more than the company politely asking over an email usually for reviewers to hold off on releasing reviews until their official release date when they have them available for purchase. It's not a secret handshake by any means with these companies, with the reviewers and the company. There's no kickback on these, at least not on my channel, and I really don't think others are operating that way either. It's basically, here's the product from the manufacturer, shows up at my door, and then generally I don't communicate with the company until after I release the video, just letting them know that it's live. I just figured I'd mention it so you guys have a little better idea on how these reviews work on my channel. You also might notice that I didn't release mine the same day as all the others. I honestly would have. I don't mind trying to help out a company if they're releasing a new product, but I had a couple other videos that were due first, so I had to get those out. So I'm not going to be the first one to get this video out there, but I think I can still offer up some insights on these better than expected components. Let's start with the A20, which Aiyima calls their masterpiece of a decade. Bold claim, right? But wasn't it Wayne Gretzky who said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take? So I guess shoot your shot, Aiyima. Let's see if you can live up to it and avoid the quirks and problems that do occasionally pop up on some of the budget audio gear. The A20 actually does have a few features that I really appreciate, but before I touch on those, the basics are, it's a balanced Class D amp utilizing a TPA 3255 amp chip, a PFFB for a predictable frequency response across different speaker loads. It comes with a 48 volt 5 amp power supply. It accepts both RCA, XLR, TRS cables. But where I think this one piques the most interest is the high pass filter that is selectable in the front here. And better yet, when you flip it around, it has a very usable dial with a few markings to find the proper filter for your setup. You can select between 60 to 200 hertz. So while some of these, they were a miss on the early designs, this one does do a fantastic job. I wouldn't mind some lines in between the numbers for a little bit more accuracy, but this is still so much better than some of the early filters on the other budget amps that didn't even give any indication of where your filter was, or even worse, some of the filter ranges that just really made no sense. The other notable is the bypass button. Generally, bypass has been bypassing tone controls on these budget desktop amps, but in this case, it bypasses the volume and turns it into a standard power amp. And that's perfect for pairing up with the T20 or whatever preamp you want to bring in. The third, while it's not very exciting, it is relevant. It's a feature that I really like to see, and that's a trigger. Companies are getting better about adding these, but if you're planning to use these in a stack, anything like this, it's really a no-brainer. With a 48 volt 5 amp power supply, expect around 100 watts by 2 at 8 ohms and 120 by 2 at 4. While that's not below your windows up power, it's still very usable with bookshelves and even most floor standing speakers up to fairly loud volumes in what I would call a medium sized space. If you're using these at your desk, expect no power issues at all. It's plenty of power for anything near field. If you utilize that high pass filter, you can take that power a lot further as well. Just bring a sub into the system and take the strain off the amp and powering the lower frequencies on your speakers. Pass off the heavy lifting over to a powered sub and let the A20 handle everything above it. Your speakers are going to have less distortion and your amp will have a lot more headroom for the speakers themselves. I'm not planning to open this one up today. It does have swappable op amps, and it looks like there's plenty of space for a variety of different units. But if you want to check that out, swing over to Old Guy Hifi. Ed opened this one up, and he shared his thoughts on op amp swapping for this one as well as the T20. I really feel like the build quality feels solid. I would say this is definitely my favorite looking design by Aiyima. It felt like they were laying low for a little bit there on releases, and if this is the reason why, I'm all for it. I don't feel like we need to rush these products out. I'm all for ones that are, just a little bit more focused and they feel a little more polished. The volume knob has a really nice feel to it, and the red ring behind it gives it just the right amount of flair without going over the top. The entire package is honestly really clean looking. I actually like it. The T20 is a very similar profile. I'm sure they designed this with the intention that a lot of people would be using these together. They look great together. My only ask would have been for the volume knobs to be aligned vertically, just for a little bit of a cleaner look if you do have these stacked. Still, it's a really clean, simple design, and I really like the different approach with the screen. It's easy to read from the distance if you're using the included remote as well. This tube preamp comes with ECC 83 tubes, and like I mentioned earlier, this isn't a gimmick by any means. While some may not like the flavor of what some others might call a pleasant distortion from a tube, I found it can actually be quite pleasing to the ear, especially paired with many of the budget Class D offerings that can be a bit more clinical. I'm not trying to convince you either way. Some like tubes, some don't, but at the very least, this is a really budget way to test the waters. As for the tubes, when you combine them with the op amps, you get a signal to noise ratio that hits around 112 dB. You get a harmonic distortion, 0.003, dynamic range, 109 dB. Really, these are audiophile grade numbers at a very non-audiophile price, which is nice to see. Looking at the back, XLR and RCA outputs, as well as RCA and XLR TRS inputs, alongside the two triggers, which I always appreciate, like I mentioned earlier. It's a simple chassis, just like the A20, but once again, I really like this simple design that favors performance over, RGB lights. Operating the T20 is quite simple too. Once you power it on, expect to be met with a countdown as the tubes come up to their temperature. Switching between inputs is as simple as a push of the volume dial, red for RCA, blue for XLR. The remote does enough to fully utilize the unit, and really that's about it. Power, mute, inputs, volume, and a much appreciated feature, the ability to toggle that screen on and off. Short story here is I really do like this combo for the price. This is the sort of value-oriented gear that I really like to talk about instead of copies of copies of copies. Now let's talk about how these actually sound. The A20 delivers what I'd call an honest sound. It's neutral without being clinical, detailed without being overly fatiguing. The Class D implementation here matches up with other recent good budget releases from brands like Weem, 3E Audio, and Fozzy. Some of these brands, they've really started to figure out that 3255 chip, especially with the PFFB. It's pretty consistent and they all sound pretty good for the price. Bass is tight and controlled on this one, not the warmest or most romantic, but precise and musical, just as I would expect, from a true to the source amp. Mid-range clarity is pretty good and the treble extends without any notable harshness. As for the speakers, this was tested with the Classic Polk LSIM 703, the CSS Audio 1TDX, as well as a few budget offerings that might find their way into desktops, just because some of these other ones I tested with were kind of large. These ones are small and they tend to fit on desks a little bit easier. Always try to keep an eye on which speakers were used during subjective descriptions of audio, not just for my channel, but on YouTube in general. That speaker is going to have a lot bigger impact on the bass weight and the treble reach than any amp or DAC. So just keep that in mind when you're pairing up equipment to get the synergy you're looking for. In this case, most of the speakers used today carry a bit more warmth and wouldn't really be considered aggressive in the upper ranges. I find pairing a clean or neutral amp with a little bit of warmth from the speaker is a great combo, but that's highly dependent on your personal preferences to sound. Now about that T20 preamp. With the stock tubes and op amps, you get a clean, slightly warmer presentation than the A20 alone. I really felt like this combo was punching above its price point. While it's not technically a perfect neutral sound, it was very musical and it was great across several genres of music. This one might pique some listeners' interest. I felt like the smoothing effect from the tubes really enabled the poor recordings to come alive on some of the more resolving speakers that I tried to pair it with. I was initially worried that the budget tube preamp was going to go over the top with the warmth, but I was pleasantly surprised when I brought this into my system and heard a change, a little bit of a coloration, but it was the right amount of spice. It didn't mask the speaker characteristics by any means. It was great for anyone who's looking to take a little bit of the perceived digital edge off. And if you just want that A20, I think it's a fair offering at under $200. The features, the connections, a sub out with a high pass filter, the volume bypass, and the triggers make it a real option if you're looking to pair it up with anything like a Weem Ultra, for example. But if you're looking to keep this as a stack, the T20 pairs wonderfully with the A20. The tube preamp adds just enough harmonic richness to complement the A20's clarity. So here's the bottom line on value. The A20 typically runs around $175 to $200, depending if there's a sale. There is a sale right now as of filming this, and I'll link that below in my description. At that price, you're getting a fair value on what I think is a good design. The T20 is roughly $170, and it's almost without competition. Fully balanced tube preamps typically start at a much higher price point than this. Together, you're looking at under $400 in many cases for a balanced tube amp and a power amp combo with, a visual appeal and upgrade potential if you want to go down the route of tubes or op amp swapping. That's a remarkable value in today's market. And yes, the budget gear is getting more expensive, that's pretty obvious, but the quality and performance is increasing as well. So are these little guys worth your money? The T20 is a real gem here. For anyone curious about the tube sound or wanting to add a little bit of warmth, it's almost impossible to beat for the price. Together they create a synergy that truly did surprise me. Are they giant killers? No, I don't think I'd call them that, but I do think they do very well at their price point. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate the community here. Talk soon. Take care. Later.